start by asking you, if you could give us a little idea about yourself, as in what's your family background, where are you originally from, and what's
Yeah.
been your educational background, and how did you get introduced to stock market and trading?
Okay. Yeah, I can cover that. So that is something interesting too. So I think, yeah, say profession. Actually, I'm an engineer. Okay, so I'm a software engineer by profession. So I've been writing code since I was 18 or 19 years old. So now it's
Hmm.
almost been another 18 years. So I'm 36. So almost 18 years I've been writing code. So I have done my BCA and my MCA from IP University in Delhi.
Hmm.
So that is what I did, and then I also got a job. And this is one thing that I've been doing, like one of my the best things, like I really love to code. Okay,
Hmm.
so so that part has never gone away. But I think in 2010 I passed out. So after that, I saw the crash at that time that was happening in 2008. At that time, I
Hmm.
didn't have the money to trade, obviously. Okay, but I
Hmm.
was seeing the crash that was happening. So I got interested. So in, like, when you join a new job, right? People tell you about investments and all. So I started to invest into markets by, like, it was a paltry sum. I think 1,000 rupees or uh, something like that.
Hmm.
So at that time, I think since 2011 or something, I had accounts. I think in Share Khan. At that time, I had an account in Share Khan, and I had no. Say pretty much not a lot of idea about trading, but I knew, yeah, there was something called the market, and you can go and buy stuff. Completely ignorant about the FNO stuff and the derivative stuff.
Hmm.
That used to happen. So I think in 2012 somehow I felt that, I should start. I should be more active about it. Okay.
Hmm.
Was I was a little young, so I felt, okay, that's okay. It's a good time to be active. At that time, I started to, like, I asked my dad, if you have any shares or not. So he told me, yeah, I have a couple of shares. So those shares at that time were, I think, 15, 20 lakhs at that
Hmm.
at that time. So I said, okay, fine. So just give them. I'll just see what I can do.
Hmm.
So at that time, then I started to then learn technical stuff. I saw that, like, there is an area. Obviously you don't get into just it's a buying selling just like that. You have to do
Hmm.
some type of a research,
Hmm.
and as a novice, I felt, okay. It's a good thing that, like, you can make money off markets, and you can get good money.
Hmm.
So at that time, what I did is that I started to learn mostly candlesticks. I think that is what everybody does, right?
Hmm.
So we all
Hmm.
learn candlesticks, and so I thought, yeah, I'm very good at that. I started to, like, invest mostly, but like, at that time, I think I gave it 3 4 months. It didn't work out, at least the investing part. So I thought maybe I'll try the intraday part.
Hmm.
Okay, so it's also tried the intraday part. I think in intraday, whatever money I put, I used to put 15,000, 20,000 every month, and it used to become zero.
Hmm.
Okay, so that was one thing that I saw, and I got frustrated. I said, like, this is too much, and there was a time I like liquidated all of the 20 lakhs, and
Hmm.
there was a point in 2014 or 13, it all became zero.
Oh,
Okay, so and I
okay.
did not have the guts to tell my father that, it all became zero and it all went to shit. I said,
Hmm.
let's see what we can do. And one thing one thing I realized that time, that I was not pretty good at say trading or the psychology of it.
Hmm. Hmm.
So what mostly I felt like was that maybe my analysis was not good. That is the first thing. I think you all, anybody, if you're doing technical analysis and you don't make money, what
Hmm.
you would mostly focus on is that, like, you are not good. Maybe your TA is not good, or maybe you need to
Hmm.
learn something else. So
Hmm.
that is what I thought too. So then, at that time, like, there is a friend I knew. He gave me a book by Thomas Dorsey.
Okay.
So that Thomas Dorsey book is a book on point and figure charts.
Okay.
Okay, and me being an engineer, so for me, like, I understand more objective things.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
for me, I felt like, the candlesticks are a little too subjective. Maybe it's not. Okay, but
Hmm.
at that time,
Hmm.
I felt it was a little subjective, and I wanted something which is more objective, or maybe a little more. It's a black and white. Okay, so
Hmm.
I studied that book for about, I think, about a month. Okay, I realized that it's a good thing, but it was not at that time. It was for the US markets, and for Indian markets, I think there was also no software available that could actually, I mean, say, plot these charts.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Hmm.
2014, I understood. Okay, like this is a good way. At least like whatever it is, a little objective. I
Hmm.
mean, it's a noiseless, and you can call that. So I felt it was objective. So at that time, then I started to download the data from NSE. Okay,
Hmm.
from, I mean, obviously Nifty, mostly Nifty. Okay,
Hmm.
mostly it's Nifty. I started to download, and I started to like plot that actual chart of the point and figure on an Excel sheet.
Hmm.
So I used to do that
Hmm.
every day from 2014 to 17, 16. Okay,
Oh.
because that I used to
Hmm.
do. Like I used to trade all these, like mostly it's Nifty futures I used to trade, and then a couple of stocks. I think it's Reliance, or like which were the heavyweights,
Hmm.
which I could like, because see, I mean, obviously I had limited time. Okay, and also like you have to, I mean, you have to update all of this every day. So I could only do like
Hmm.
4 or 5 of them. So that
Hmm.
is when I saw. I mean, I practiced it, but still the money didn't come actually. I mean,
Hmm.
still,
Hmm.
I mean, I was doing, in the sense, like I was doing good one. I mean, say 1 month, then the other month again, I wasn't doing so well. Okay,
Hmm.
I mean, again, I again blamed it on my technical analysis that maybe that isn't good.
Hmm.
Okay, so after that, again, I mean, then I think I got hold of. I mean, I see what my realization was. Maybe I am not getting the data at the right time, because obviously I have to wait for the. I mean, for the data at the end of the day, right? So if
Hmm.
you're
Hmm.
downloading
Hmm.
from NSE, you have to get data from end of the day. So I thought maybe if I get the real time data, I might do better.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
so that was my thing. So I tried that, even that didn't work out, because again there was some issues with the data feed and all. Uh, but then I think the software was launched by Define Edge,
Hmm.
2017 or like late. So at the time I saw that software, and I saw that's a good software for Indian markets, and I started
Right.
using that software at that time. And I think that is when 17 or I think 16. That is also the period when I was making. I mean, I was making money. Okay, but it
Hmm.
was not a. I mean, it was not a lot.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, it was not a
Hmm.
lot of money, but I was making money. Then I mean, it had become consistent. So slowly, slowly, then I mean, I was able to apply a lot of concepts of point and figure, which I earlier could not apply.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, because being there a software now, I mean, I'm also my learning grew, and after that, slowly and steadily, I also read a few books of psychology. Okay, books about, I mean, about say risk management. Okay, those things I started to incorporate.
Hmm.
Okay, and that is when the turnaround started to happen, because I started to keep a journal. I mean, from that time, and that is
Hmm.
when I started to keep. And also at that time, the expectations, I think in 2013 or 12, were that like whatever I have lost, I have to make it back.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Hmm.
at that time, I was like, I mean, I was like say trying to trade options or everything else. Okay,
Hmm.
so but that thing changed once I realized that I mean, you cannot make money very quickly here. So that is what I realized. So the turnaround happened in that time. Okay,
Hmm.
and from that time, like I have been doing like quantum finger analysis from then. But I think what has changed is that I mean, I believe that my analysis is only 30% of the game.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
so even if I get a direction right, it's not necessary that see whatever trade I will take, it will be right.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
so that thing, see, that realization came much later, and then obviously I developed a lot of setups. Based on those setups, I started to trade, and now, I mean, as of now, it's okay. So I'm very comfortable. I mean, say whatever I'm trading, I was mostly comfortable with the positional side of things. Okay,
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
that I'm still comfortable with positional side of things. Intraday, I'm not very comfortable. I mean, intraday, I don't
Hmm.
might find my comfort, especially when I'm trading manually.
Got
Okay,
it. Hmm.
so I feel that I mean say trading intraday is not something I am good at. I mean, say, if I do it manually, yeah.
Hmm.
So obviously see, because I know how to code, right? So I have
Hmm.
my algos written, and like those and that stuff. So that is there.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
but for
Hmm.
my positional analysis, I always prefer like I mean, it will be like a research for like 2 days. I mean, yeah, before, or I would be basically like looking at charts for like days and weeks, and then only taking a trade. So I have these two components, like when I trade.
Hmm.
So this has been the journey so far, And still now,
Got
like I am enjoying both of the things. I am also enjoying like coding and also enjoying trading. So that is a part of it.
got it. Got it. So tell me one thing. So you are saying when it comes to positional trading, you are doing it manually. But then, are you also algo trader, or you are? And if yes, where do you use that algo then?
Yeah, yeah, I am an algo trader. I mean, the only difference I think is that I have a couple of algos. Like, I am also using on say Tradetron. I am also having my own machine where the algos run.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I do
But
both. I
that's
mean,
on. But that's on options or futures or
and that's
how?
on options mostly. So whatever my algos are running, mostly running on options only. So
Hmm.
I do bank Nifty, but I think Nifty. I mean, say the advent of Nifty weekly happened in 2019, right? So
Hmm. Hmm.
2019 is when I felt more comfortable about the algo stuff, because that is where I mean I was always comfortable with Nifty. I mean some more as compared to bank
Hmm.
Nifty. So from
Hmm.
2019 when the weeklies came out, I was more comfortable with these algos that I was trading with. Earlier, I tried with Bank Nifty, but I think success rate was not that high.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, for
Hmm.
intraday, I always prefer algos, and my algos are not specifically written in Python. So I think
Hmm.
there are a lot of Python people who use. Say they code in Python. So I don't code in Python. Okay,
Okay.
so that's the difference. So I code in like C sharp. Okay, so that
Okay.
is my language of choice, because that is the. I mean, see, because from our earlier days we have been taught C, C++, C sharp. So that is a language I am more comfortable with. That
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
code my algos with. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. So now tell me one thing. We have discussed algo versus manual, but within options and futures, what are you predominantly, or you? I'm sure you do both, but predominantly you do options, or predominantly you are a futures trader.
No, I don't do futures at all. Actually, I don't do futures at all. At all, I have
Okay.
stopped
Okay.
trading futures. I think in the last 3 years, I haven't done anything futures. So whatever is possible in futures, I can do in options.
Okay.
So,
By taking
so
either call or put positions. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So like
Hmm.
whatever. See, basically, what I try to recreate from the future is that like if it can be done in future, it can be done in options too.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
that is what I try to do, because what I understood, like the futures. See, the futures have an inherent problem.
Hmm.
See, if you are short, that is the biggest problem.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, because if you are a short on future, and like if it's a gap ups against you, or if it's a
Hmm.
moves against you,
Hmm.
then there are times you cannot manage risk actually so
Hmm.
much.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
but in the options trade, if you have the same structure by an option, you have your risk managed much more properly.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that is what I found out, and I think that has been working for me, like for that duration. Yeah, obviously, see, in futures you have that unlimited profit thing, right?
Hmm.
I mean, in
Me, I mean,
options, yeah, and then there is that also that liquidity, because you cannot
yeah.
trade. You cannot have an option structure of every stock. You can only trade in the liquid stocks. So
Yeah,
that is
that's
one
true.
limitation I have, but I'm okay. I mean, I'm okay with that, because my universe is also defined that way.
Got it. Within options, are you, and from what I can guess from what you're saying, you are primarily an option buyer, right?
No, I do both actually.
Both.
I mean, if you see on an intraday basis, I would be an option seller.
Hmm.
Okay, but on a positional basis, I would be an option buyer most of the times.
Okay, okay, got it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so I'd be doing spreads. So I'd be doing spreads. So I'd be doing like back spreads. So those things I'd be doing on a positional basis. But I would be adjusting them. That is something I'm also learning now. Adjusting. I mean, the adjustment. I mean, say thanks to one of our friends. I mean, say Deepak. So
Hmm.
that is something I also picked up. So I've been doing that. But more or less, I mean, I do prefer spreads whenever I'm trading stocks. Or
Got it.
yeah.
Got it. So tell me one thing, Abhishek. From your years of experience now as a trader, what are, if I could ask you, what are some of the things which you would strongly, recommend to others, traders and upcoming and new traders? Like, what are the do's and don'ts that you would sort of
Yeah,
advise?
yeah. I think if I also look back, like at that time, I think what I found is that if you're starting out, okay, uh, you should really really understand that like whatever money you are putting in, okay,
Hmm.
it will become zero
Hmm.
when you start out. I mean, that is something you have to accept it.
Hmm.
Okay, you cannot say that like I have a high IQ,
Hmm.
or I am so good, say professionally, or say so good academically, I
Hmm.
will make money of the markets on the first instance.
Hmm.
More or
Hmm.
less, it's very tough. I mean, I
Yeah.
mean, that is one thing you have to understand. Yeah, and the second thing is that if you persevere,
Hmm.
okay, and you persevere in terms of that, you focus on the risk part first.
Hmm.
Like, like how much you are willing to lose per trade.
Hmm. Hmm.
If you can define that and you can actually accept that and you can keep it,
Hmm. Hmm.
like more or less, even if you have a 50% win rate,
Hmm.
you might not, you will still not go bust. That is my
Yeah.
point. You will not go bust. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not talking about making money. That will come, I think, maybe a little more later, but you will not go bust. So that is
Hmm.
my thing. And the third thing is that, see, don't focus on the TA too much. Okay,
Hmm.
the technical analysis is only, as I said, it's only 30% of it.
Hmm. Hmm.
More or less is your position sizing and your risk management.
Yeah.
That is the main crux of it. That is what I've understood. At when I started out, I did say nothing of those trusts. I did not do them.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I actually did them much later in life.
Hmm.
Okay, so that is what I understood, that that is the first thing you should focus on. I mean, try to understand, like, obviously you have to backtest your strategy, you have to
Hmm.
do it. But what happens is that, what even I have done is that I used to backtest a strategy,
Hmm.
and it used to have returns, like high returns. Okay, and I used to like, then say make an Excel sheet, and then I used to like, do that, like what would be the equity curve if I would
Hmm.
have done that. Okay,
Hmm.
and then I used to be very happy about it. Next day I would put all the money, okay,
Hmm.
in that. And what used to happen after a month or two, uh, it was in a drawdown phase, and then I was like, what has happened?
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
because there was no position sizing, right? Because I used to like,
Yeah.
I used to put the entire capital on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that is one thing, and the other thing is that if you are somebody who's a trader, you have to have uncorrelated strategies. So
Hmm.
don't just be fixated on one strategy. Have a mix of three, four strategies. So if, say for example, one of them does not work,
Hmm.
okay, so there is a chance, say for example, the other one can work.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
obviously, but that is the same thing, like don't put all your eggs in the same basket.
Hmm.
It's the same stuff. So that is what my second thing would be, that do uncorrelated things, have a mix of two three things. See, and don't define yourself as an intraday trader, or like an options trader, or like an option seller, or an option buyer.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
see, don't box yourself.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
see, more you box yourself, it will, it will get more tough.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
there is no single way of making money.
Yes.
Okay, there are months where I don't make money by option selling intraday, but I
Hmm.
make money by, like, say for example, if I have my positional positions where I have bought
Hmm.
options.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, so there is, you should not be fixated, and obviously, as I said, you should have strategies, you know, which are uncorrelated, which can run. Say throughout the year, but obviously you have to keep on changing them. So that would be my advice.
Got it. Got it. Actually, you made an interesting point in the first point that you made, that, just because you think someone thinks that, they are in academically brilliant, they will succeed in the market. Actually, I also read recently on Twitter, there is someone said that EQ, is much greater than IQ.
Yes,
Basically, your emotional quotient is bigger, far more important than your intelligence quotient in markets. Because I think in market, I think it is more to do with how you are as a person, in terms of your temperament. How are you in how good you are in sort of bearing losses, how good you are in handling losses and drawdown phase. I mean, all those things are really what really defines you as a trader. And sometimes what happens is that people who are academically very brilliant, in fact, they are actually handicapped, because they can't handle defeat in life, or they
yeah,
can't handle failures. So very interesting point, which
that is
sort of
there.
I also, yeah.
Yeah, that is there. I think I was reading one of this book by Mark Douglas. I forgot the name of the book right now. So like, this is very.
Hmm,
In that, like in that book, it's written very well that, it's all about how you. How you are managing your mental setup, basically.
hmm, hmm,
It's all about that patience and that mental setup, and it's about, see, ultimately trading is a probability game, right?
hmm, hmm.
Ultimately trading is a probability game, like,
Yes.
see, I can tell you all day that, my setup or my strategy has a 90% win rate.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
but it doesn't matter, if I can't, if I enter into the strategy and I am, see the first three trades go into a drawdown and I cannot handle it.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that happens to all of us, I think. If you are making losses,
Hmm.
okay, and however good the strategy might be, you might not have the stomach to, say for example, to stay in for that entire duration of the strategy's drawdown.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, most people cannot handle drawdowns. I mean, even I mean, even I couldn't. If I was
Hmm.
doing, say for example, say just say one strategy, I would not
Hmm.
be able to handle a drawdown.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, because I would feel, say this is life. If say for example that one thing I'm invested in, that thing is not working.
Hmm.
Okay, so it
Hmm.
takes the wind out of your sails. So my thing has always been, focus on, making sure that you are able to handle the losses. So whenever I do any allocation towards my trading, yeah, see, my trading allocation happens, obviously on the start of the financial year.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, so
Hmm.
whenever I do an allocation, my first thing is that, even if, say for example, my system has a max drawdown of 10%, I
Hmm.
assume, I will
Hmm.
actually assume that it can do 20%.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
and I will take the 20% out first.
Hmm.
So I would take that out first, and whatever I have to trade, I would be
Hmm.
doing on the 80% first.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
even if I have a drawdown,
Hmm. Hmm.
I would not have to reduce my position sizing.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Most often what happens is that, when you'll go through a drawdown, you will also reduce your, position sizing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because see, you started with 10 lots, you had a
Hmm.
loss, then you come to 9, 8, 7, and you slowly you would also lose the confidence.
Yeah. Yeah.
So these are the things that I have learned. So I think over time, so I think
Yeah.
that can help. I think,
Yeah. Yeah. No. No. I get it. I get it. Hmm.
yeah.
And interesting. Yeah. So while I have a few more questions, Abhishek, and I will
Hmm.
keep asking them, but we'll also open this up for audience round, and let's see if people have. So we have a question from Nilesh. Nilesh, do you, yeah, you want to go ahead and ask a question?
Yeah, hi. Uh,
Hi,
yeah, hi,
Nilesh.
sir. Sir, it's been a privilege to being part of your group sir, from last 2 years. Dada, so basically, I mean, my question is very short and simple. So, do you have any monthly say plan of gaining 3%, 4%, and then you stop your trading, or it's not like that? If your setup says go ahead, you don't see how much has been made for the month or year.
Yeah, I don't think I have that much of a plan that, I don't have a fixed thing like as a SIP. I mean, that, I have to make 3% every month or 5%. There have been months I have made even 10%, and then there have been months where I have lost 5% also. So I don't have that, but yeah, I just have a plan, what is the maximum drawdown I can take. That's all. Okay, so that is my thing. Like, that is the drawdown I can take. So that is the only thing it is fixed.
Okay, then. Thanks.
Okay. Okay. Uh, Venkat, Venkat Subramanian, do you want to ask a question?
Yeah, hi Venkat.
I think he's not able to speak. No, no, no worries. In fact, let me ask a question from my side,
Is
Abhishek.
it? Are
Uh,
you able to hear me?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Yes,
Venkat.
Venkat.
Go ahead, go ahead. Yes.
So my question is, some maybe I don't know. It's a little bit trickier. Some people are saying, uh, uh, "Give me 5,000 premium membership." Going by your words, right? Everyone should do on their own. Going, paying someone and doing that work. Will it work really?
That's an
Doing it.
interesting. It's an interesting story. Actually, I have also done this. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I think 6 7 years ago, I do remember I have done this. I mean, I was feeling very low at a point in time. Say nothing was working. So I think I got a call from some guy, telling me that if you join our channel or like you join our group at 5,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, whatever the amount is, I don't
Right.
remember. So we will give you calls. Okay, and at that time I was also doing technical analysis. Okay, and I had zero faith in myself. Obviously, after the loss, you don't feel so good. So I took their calls. Okay, I took their calls for I think 2 months or 3 months, and to be frank, I didn't understand what they were giving. I mean, I didn't agree with their calls. I still took them blindly, and for me, it didn't work out. Again, I mean, I did not make any profit of those calls, and somehow again, then I realized, like doing this is not helping again. I mean, I lost
Correct.
trust after that. The only thing again I understood is that like if you are doing yourself, you have yourself to blame. Okay, that is the one thing. And the other thing is, I mean, if that person is even not doing well, what can you do? They will, I mean, you will tell them, it's not working. They will tell you that, I mean, sir, आज markets ठीक नहीं थे, एक मतलब एक महीने से ठीक नहीं है, 2 महीने से ठीक नहीं है.
Correct. Okay.
So it is better
Right.
that
So
to manage your own money if you can. See, not everybody can. That is also not. I mean, say not easy, but said, I mean, you can do it eventually if you manage the risk part first. So I always believe that like say for example, if you don't become a good trader uh, I mean, say in this life, you will have to be reborn again in the next life, and I mean, say then become a good trader. So it has to eventually happen.
okay, okay. One more question is, probably I'm taking more time or I don't know. One more question is it okay for a working professional to do a trading in the morning and doing, is it something wise? Is it makes,
See,
I don't think so, right?
see, if you ask me, if you can manage your job,
Mm-hmm.
then there is no set template. And if I mean, if the company is okay with that, but more or less, what I have seen is it's very tough if you do it manually. Okay, manual doing in the morning, and see, if you're talking about intraday trading, I mean, so specifically, it requires a lot of attention, right? So, and there is no special time to trade. Your setup, if you have a setup, say for example, you do a strategy, you don't know when it will give you the trade, right? You are expecting that strategy to, I mean, see, you are expecting that strategy to trade according to your time. That doesn't happen usually. So, if you're a working professional, my advice would be start with positional trading because that gives you a lot more, like, I mean, say, room for error. Even if you go wrong, okay, you can still say manage that trade. But in an intraday trade, I have seen it's say really tough because if it goes wrong, then your psychology then say comes in. I mean, you can do say revenge trades, so that can happen.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Understood. Sharad, you want to ask your question?
अभिषेक जी नमस्ते.
Namaste, Sharad ji.
सर एक क्वेश्चन था एक्चुअली
Uh-huh.
ऑप्शन बाइंग के बारे में.
Uh-huh.
तो ऑप्शन बाइंग जैसे आपने कहा कि आप सेलिंग भी करते हो और बाइंग भी करते
Uh-huh.
हैं, तो मेरा ऑप्शन बाइंग पे ये क्वेश्चन था
Mm-hmm.
कि इंडिकेटर बेस्ड ऑप्शन बाइंग या डेटा बेस्ड ऑप्शन बाइंग विच इज मोर रिवॉर्डिंग.
इंडिकेटर सी मैं आपको सही बात बताऊं, मैं दोनों ही नहीं करता. ठीक है ना, टू बी वेरी फ्रैंक. ठीक है, बिकॉज इफ यू सी माई चार्ट्स, you will see rarely I put indicators. Okay, so my
ओके.
view is that my view is on the underlying stock. Okay, so if my view is see, if my view is bullish or say sideways, depending on that I will create an option strategy. ठीक है, वो ऑप्शन बाई पे हो सकता है, स्प्रेड्स हो सकते हैं. इफ आई एम से वेरी बुलिश, I can like say for example do I can do say 1:2 का spread. ठीक है, if I am say moderately
ओके.
bullish, I'll do say for example say 1:1 का spread. I mean,
ओके.
so that would be my style of doing things. Okay, बट वो इंडिकेटर वर्सेस वाला चीज क्या है ना, वो आपको बैक टेस्ट करके देखना पड़ेगा कि वो आपके लिए वर्कआउट क्या करता है. क्योंकि देखो, अगेन आई एम सेइंग, इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी व्हाट आई एम डूइंग इज द बेस्ट थिंग. Okay,
ओके.
what it can happen that you have a strategy, you have a setup. If it say, works for you, nothing like it. Don't worry about whatever an expert is saying. That is not something that you should worry about. आपका सेटअप चल रहा है, आपको पैसा मिल रहा है, उससे अच्छा और कुछ नहीं है.
ऑप्शन बायर के लिए सर मैक्स ड्रॉडाउन कितना होना चाहिए.
आई थिंक आपको वो देखना पड़ेगा कि आपके अकाउंट साइज में आप उसको लेवरेज कर रहे हो. ठीक है, यूजुअली आई वुड नॉट से फॉर एग्जांपल हैव अ ड्रॉडाउन मोर देन 15%. तो वो पोजीशन,
वन
हाँ
फाइव
1.5 इज आई थिंक गुड इनफ. उससे ज्यादा अगर होता है तो फिर आपको अपना पोजीशन वैसे साइज करना पड़ेगा. देयर आर स्ट्रेटजीज which are very good option buying strategies, which can maybe give you 300% return and also give you a drawdown of 50%. But then you have to manage your position accordingly, कि आपका जो ड्रॉडाउन है कि आपका 10 से ज्यादा ना रहे, क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली तो आपको
ओके
ड्रॉडाउन कैपिटल पे देखना पड़ेगा ना. तो आप
यस
कैपिटल पे देख रहे हो तो उसके हिसाब से आप, अगर आपको लग रहा है कि नहीं आई कैन हैंडल दैट 50, मतलब आई कैन हैंडल दैट 50% बिकॉज आई एक्चुअली से वांट दैट 300%, देन यू हैव टू मैनेज दैट पोजीशन अकॉर्डिंगली. आई मीन जो आपका पोजीशन साइज है, if you are comfortable with it.
बट इज इट पॉसिबल थ्रू एल्गो?
I think it's possible through algo if there are, if it's a liquid instrument. If it's a liquid
Okay.
instrument, you can
So
still do it.
specifically, I am asking about Nifty or Bank
Yeah,
Nifty.
it is possible. I think Bank Nifty many do it. Okay, it's a Bank
Okay.
Nifty many do it. I mean, I don't see. I am not somebody who does a lot of. Say buying, especially on Bank Nifty. But I've seen. Say people money. Say people make money on Bank Nifty options a lot. See, it depends upon the
Okay.
setup. Like you find a setup, you trade it, you allocate your capital, and you also manage your position.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Abhishek. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Uh, Jiten, Jiten, you want to ask a question?
Yeah. Hi, Jitin.
I think Yash or Jiten, any of you can ask a question.
Yeah, hi. Am I audible?
Yeah. Hi. Yes, you are
Yeah.
audible. Yes.
Hi, I wanted to just get this detail from you that what is the kind of capital one should have to trade and not to invest. I mean, what happens is people have very small capitals and then they come into the market buying options and taking tips and things like that, and they finally go bust. So, what is the kind of capital that you feel is okay to start trading and not just start
Yeah.
with any X amount of capital?
See, if you're talking about options trading, then I think you should start with minimum 5 lakhs. Okay, so that will give you maybe the flexibility of also seeing some income. Okay, and also being able to manage that risk. Because if you do, if you do say with a, say with a say 1 lakh account, you might not be very happy with the income as well. Okay, but you have to accept it that like there can be losses on that capital. So you should be also be willing to lose that 1 lakh. So if you're investing 5 lakhs, so you should be. Say it should be a set off that like there is that earning. You are okay with that. So that is the. I feel that is the minimum amount you should have if you are a trader. It could be. It's a more also for some, but I think that is the minimum you should have.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. Yash,
Yeah, I just
Yash.
asked. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Okay, great. Fine. So, one question, Abhishek, I had, and I'm sure many others would have asked you this question, which was that, according to you, what is the right expectation that a trader should have in terms of, the return expectation? As in, what, according to you, should a person be happy with or should be satisfied with? As someone who has been in the market and been a veteran, what's your advice to traders on that point?
See, it's very tough to like tell like what would be good for somebody else. I can
Hmm.
only tell you like what is good for me. Okay,
Hmm.
like I am acceptable with the situation. So if
Hmm.
I can make something about say 2-3%,
Hmm.
say after say taking out the brokerages, taxes,
Hmm.
whatever else, I'm
Hmm.
usually happy with that. Okay,
Hmm.
but obviously then it would also depend upon the capital, right? Whatever capital
Hmm.
you have. So like if you have a very big capital, like making that 2-3% is going to be tough. Again,
Hmm. Hmm.
okay, because on a bigger capital, you will have to do many strategies. Again, as I said, you will have to do a lot of say uncorrelated strategies. You will also
Hmm.
be giving a lot of brokerages in the end.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
so for me, it is something that I can manage 2 to 3%. Okay,
Hmm.
and I have been comfortable with that range. There are months I have even done more.
Hmm.
Okay, but
Hmm.
what I am saying is that range I am comfortable with. But again, like see, there are no limits. The
Hmm.
only thing comfortable about is the drawdown first.
Hmm.
Okay, so that is, if you ask me, say my answer would be, it's not about the profits that you're comfortable with.
Hmm.
It's about the drawdown that you're comfortable with.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if you can manage that drawdown,
Hmm.
ultimately you will also understand, after, after say 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, what
Hmm.
is your usual, say what is your usual, say, ROI at the end of the year.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So that thing you will figure out yourself, and see, say, no trader is same, like no trading setups are same.
Hmm.
Okay, I might be happy with 2-3%. There are people who can make even 10%.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, so when there was a lot of leverage, I think,
Hmm.
in 2020, till 2021, right?
Hmm.
We had a lot of leverage. So people were
Hmm.
making, say, crazy money, right,
Hmm.
by
Hmm.
selling options. Okay,
Yeah.
that thing is not possible right now.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that is there.
Got it. Got it. Our good friend Anant Rao has a question. Anant Rao, sir, good evening.
Very,
Thank you for joining.
very good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Abhishek, I had a simple question for you.
Yes, sir.
Uh, when you do an algo based options
Hmm.
setup and trade based on that, how much have you experienced? What has been the performance of the setups, set up or setups, depending upon what you use,
Hmm.
on
Hmm.
stressful days?
On stressful day, do you mean like an expiry, like a
No,
Thursday
no, those
expiry?
are not stressful days. I'm taking a stressful day means where the markets move abruptly in a direction, gap downs, gap ups, and move, say, hypothetically speaking, 250
Mm-hmm.
points Nifty in one direction,
Mm-hmm.
predominantly with gap up and gap downs. I'm taking basically about when volatility collapses or volatility spikes. So,
Correct. Yeah.
how has the strategy performed on stressful days?
Yeah, I think, yeah. So on stressful days, wherever, see what my strategies, I think will not perform very well on days where there is like a V-shaped recovery or like an M-shaped recovery. Okay, so that is when they don't perform at well. So, and those days, usually I would lose about 2% or 3% of my capital. So when that happens, but that would be the maximum that I would lose on a day.
Hmm,
So after that, I would usually stop trading.
hmm.
So there was a month, I think, which went by, I think in, I think it was May or March, I think. No, it was April, I think. So April was one of the toughest months for me. So at that time I had a drawdown of 7%, and like the historical win rate of that strategy is about 70%, which came down to about 33%.
And a follow up question to this.
Yeah.
What if you remove the stressful days performance from your year?
Hmm.
Have you ever tried to map what is your stress adjusted return? Or
No, that I think I haven't done. That is a very good, actually. I think that is a very good suggestion. I think that is something I can filter it out. I think that I have to do, but that's a very good suggestion, sir.
so I like to do it in cash because I don't trade options, as you know. But
Yeah, yeah, I'll do it. That's a very nice suggestion,
so
actually.
if we can say
I'll look
have
into that, sir.
35, 40, 50 days in a year which are stressful out of 250 trading sessions, as a trader, if I can remove that 50 days or bring it down to 25, then I think I
Mm-hmm.
have improved my odds of performing better.
Yes, correct. Yeah, correct. I completely agree with that. Yeah.
So if you have
That is something.
done something, I
Yeah.
think I wanted to know your thoughts.
No, not really. I haven't done that. So I think that's a good idea. Maybe I will. Maybe after this, fireside chat, I'll just look at the data and see. What is the best possible way for me to do this?
Welcome. Thanks for your time.
Thank, thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Anand, sir.
Gordon. Thanks.
Thank you. Uh, Sarabjit, you want to ask the next question?
Yes, thank you. And hello all. Abhishek, I want to ask a simple question. You manage your trades, your positions, and everything. What are the best tools available for the traders to use in this kind of a market? And what are the best possible which are available, which you can help us with?
Okay. See, I can only tell about the tools that I use, right? So what? so what tools I use are specific to my technical analysis. So like one of them is a trade point. So that is the software that I use for pointer figure charts. Okay, so that is one of the things I use, and the second thing is I use
Okay.
Opstra. So Opstra I usually see that is something that is something I use because I have to manage my positions every day. Like I have to see like how they are. How they are say going about. And so these are the only two tools that I actually use. Apart from that, I don't think I subscribe to a lot of softwares. So this is specific to my
Okay.
experience. For you,
Okay.
see, there is no best software out there. What I understand. Okay, like the
Okay.
software should fulfill your needs about like your trading setup. If it fulfills
Okay.
that, then it is the best for you. See, a lot of people use TradingView, right? Okay,
Right.
but I
Right.
don't
Right.
use TradingView, but it doesn't make it bad. That's
Right.
yeah.
Okay. And these are paid software, Opstra and TradePoint.
Yeah, I think for some of the things are I think free in TradePoint. I think the web version, some part of is free, but then I think if you need the meaty part, then that is I think then that has a cost. And even Opstra, I think you can create
Okay.
I think up to two or three strategies, and say keep it to yourself. I think that is free, but if you need to like if you have more positions, and I think and if you need the advanced features, then that will be a paid feature.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these two things are that you use.
Yes.
Apart from this, any other particular thing which you have knowledge of, which are the better versions of tools in the market? Uh, I'm very vague to ask this question to you, but you as experienced trader must
Yeah,
be knowing you have a better software update than we guys have, right?
it is. Yeah, I see. As I said, like I am only using these two softwares, but I can see I have used a couple of them. I have used MyFNO in the past. Okay, MyFNO I
Okay,
used to use. Okay, but MyFNO I have used. It's a good software. You can go and check it out. It's a good software, but I think I used it for a couple of months and I felt that I can do without it. Simply. Okay, but
okay,
but it's a very good software if you're doing intraday trading. You can even if you're
okay,
doing position trading, it can tell you a lot of stuff. Okay, so that is something you can
okay,
try it out. That would be one thing
okay,
that I have tried out. I can tell that it's a good software. That's all.
okay. My FNO, Opstra, and TradePoint, right?
Yeah. Yes. Correct.
Okay. I'm following you, Abhishek, for quite a long time, and it's nice talking to you. And one thing for sure, from whatever I read from you and from the experience I have, the best thing in this kind of a market, I can say from my side, is to have a software update whenever and wherever you get. So you have to be a learner at every point of time. And what's your take on this?
Yeah, I think I completely agree with you. Like like market is see the markets are so dynamic uh, that you have to keep learning every day. Like every day is. Say however good as a trader you are. Market never say it. You cannot say that like you have. See, you have mastered the markets. Every day the price action is different. Every week the price action is different. So these are the things which are something that we have to keep on adjusting to the market conditions. So I completely agree with you there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank
Yes, I'm through. If anybody
Yeah.
else can
Thank
ask,
you.
we won't
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Thank you.
No, I was saying, Ash. I think Ash is the next speaker. You want to ask a question, Ash?
Hey, hi. I want to know about two specific sector stocks. One is on the batteries, that is Exide and Amaraj. They are beaten up so badly. Is there any steam left on it? And the next one is on the insurance sector. That's also beaten up very badly. Is there any hope into this insurance, specifically HDFC Life and ICICI Pro? Yeah.
See, okay, if I answer you specifically, I haven't checked those stocks yet. Okay, so I haven't checked those stocks yet, so I am not sure if I can answer that right now.
Sharad sir can throw some light on this.
Yeah, like,
Actually, Sharad
see,
sir
I'll try to
can.
do an analysis and I can see, like, what the charts say. But as of now, I cannot give you an answer right away.
Yeah.
It will take me some time. Even if
Yeah.
even if I open up the computer and see, it will
No,
take me
and
some time.
yeah, and Ash, this is, I mean, this forum is not really for any specific stock related discussion. It's more of a generic chit chat on, on trading, on psychology, on,
Yeah,
you know,
makes sense, sir. Makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe
Thank you.
maybe you can offline, you can reach out to Abhishek and sort of he can answer you.
Yes, sure, sure.
Thank you. Thank you. That helps.
Great. So, Abhishek, one question from my side again. Since you have been such an avid practitioner of point and figure charts, and I didn't want to ask any question on strategy, but just tempted to ask you from your experience of looking at point and figure charts, is there any particular pattern which you have found to be more reliable or which has a better strike rate? I mean, in your experience.
Yeah, I have, but that is more. I mean, I call it as a pattern retest actually.
Hmm.
So that is a pattern retest that like whenever a stock, say for example, is falling.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so whenever it is, say, I mean, you find the support area, like
Hmm.
based on specific patterns, which are very strong patterns in PNF.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, say for example, a stock is falling, and if you
Hmm.
see, say for example, in that area, you have like a triple top, or if you have like 100% pole.
Hmm.
Okay, so that area usually becomes a very good support,
Hmm. Hmm.
and vice versa. So if the stock is at the resistance, and if
Hmm.
you see like 100% high pole, or if you see like a triple bottom sell,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, that I have seen, it works very well because the
Hmm.
RR usually is very good because the RR part actually becomes very affordable, at
Okay.
that time. So
Okay.
that is why I feel that that setup is good. But again, it's not that easy to spot that setup. That's the only thing because it has to be done manually.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So I
Okay.
find that it has to be done manually, and it works also best on, I mean, the Nifty 50 stocks. It won't work a lot well on maybe outside of Nifty 50. In
Hmm.
Nifty 50,
Hmm.
you will find it to be very good, and maybe on Nifty options, it works well. I mean, on Nifty options, but not weekly. I would prefer say monthly.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. Cool. We have one question from Love Kohli. Love.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi, love. Yeah.
Hello, hi sir. Sir, actually I want to know, actually I am a beginner in stock market and I am doing option trading. Means now
Mm-hmm.
it's going good, but actually sir, I want to actually I am basically I do intraday trades, so I use technical analysis. So sir, I want
Mm-hmm.
to know, means sir, technical analysis मतलब मैंने ट्विटर पे बहुत से लोगों को देखा है कि मतलब वो कहते हैं बट काम नहीं करते हैं. क्या ऐसा होता है क्या टेक्निकल एनालिसिस काम नहीं करते हैं?
See, technical analysis, there will be a time वो काम नहीं करेगा.
ओके.
ठीक है. बट इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि कभी नहीं करेगा.
हाँ जी.
ठीक है. वो देखो, मैं वही कह रहा हूँ, टेक्निकल एनालिसिस हो, कोई भी एनालिसिस
हाँ
हो गया.
जी.
ठीक है. देयर विल बी अ टाइम इट विल नॉट वर्क.
ओके.
ठीक है. इफ यू आर विलिंग टू एक्सेप्ट दैट.
ओके.
ठीक है. दैट इज द फर्स्ट थिंग.
ओके.
ठीक है. सेकंड चीज आप ये मान के चलो कि कब वो वर्क करेगा.
ओके.
ठीक है. अल्टीमेटली तो प्रोबेबिलिटी है, वही मैं कह रहा हूँ ना. अल्टीमेटली इट्स अ प्रोबेबिलिटी थी. टेक्निकल एनालिसिस का मतलब ये थोड़ी है कि आपने चार्ट देखा और जो आपका मतलब जो आपका जो स्टॉक है उसी के अकॉर्डिंग ही मूव करेगा. ऐसा होता नहीं है.
हाँ जी सर.
ठीक है. यूजुअली इट्स अ गेम ऑफ प्रोबेबिलिटीज. तो
ओके.
आपको उसी को लेकर चलना पड़ेगा. एंड देखो, एवरीबडी स्पीक्स फ्रॉम देयर एक्सपीरियंस.
यस सर.
Okay, if I tell you this does not work,
यस
okay,
सर.
you might believe me,
यस सर.
and then some other day after 5 years, say you say keep trying, and it works for you, and then you will come and tell कि आपने जो बोला वो तो गलत है.
यस सर.
Right? So that is on my experience. So your experience can be different.
ओके.
But what I can tell you is that it is not again about the technical stuff.
ओके.
It is only a small part of it.
ओके. ओके सर.
ठीक है. आपको समझना पड़ेगा कि आप एक ऐसी जगह पे आप हो जहाँ पे प्रोबेबिलिटीज मैटर करती हैं.
ओके. यस सर. ये तो
ठीक है.
सर.
और वो डिफिकल्ट है वो एक्सेप्ट करना बिकॉज इट इज नॉट दैट इजी. बुक में पढ़ना अच्छा लगता है कि प्रोबेबिलिटी 50-50% है, बट वो एक्चुअल ट्रेडिंग में एक्सेप्ट कर पाना टेक्स टाइम.
यस सर. फिर एक चीज और पूछना चाहूंगा, तो मतलब अच्छे ट्रेडर बनने के लिए क्या क्वालिटीज होनी चाहिए?
आई थिंक अच्छे ट्रेडर बनने के लिए सबसे पहले चीज तो आपको पेशेंस होना चाहिए.
ओके सर.
ठीक है, you should have patience.
Okay.
That is the first you should have. And the second thing is that you should be mad about managing risk.
Okay sir.
मतलब it should be like कि what do you call, like you should have an OCD about managing risk.
Okay sir.
मतलब you should be so mad कि जब तक अगर आप एक ट्रेड का रिस्क मैनेज ना करो,
Okay.
ठीक है, आप ट्रेड ही नहीं डालोगे.
Okay sir.
That should be it. I am not talking about कि मतलब रिस्क मैनेजमेंट. अच्छा ठीक है, मैंने एक ऑप्शन ट्रेड ले लिया, तो वो ऑप्शन ट्रेड मानो फॉर एग्जांपल मैंने कॉल बाय कर लिया 50 रुपए का. अब वो 50 रुपए हो सकता है उसका 100 का लॉट हो, राइट?
Yes sir.
ठीक है, तो आपका कितना हो गया? आपका 5000 का आपका रिस्क.
Yes sir.
ठीक है, बट द पॉइंट इज व्हाट पीपल डू इज पीपल डोंट बाय जस्ट एट 5000, राइट? पीपल बाय विद द एंटायर अकाउंट.
Yes
तो
sir.
अगर आपके पास 1 लाख रुपए है तो आप पूरा का पूरा उस पर खर्च कर दोगे. ठीक है, वो रिस्क मैनेजमेंट नहीं है.
Yes sir, ये नहीं है मेरे मैनेजमेंट, समझ गया.
ठीक है, वो आपका रिस्क मैनेजमेंट नहीं है. आपको ये है कि अगर आज की डेट में मैं 50 रुपए का ऑप्शन खरीद भी रहा हूँ,
Yes sir.
मेरा मान लो मन में स्टॉप लॉस मान लो मेरा 40 है.
Yes sir.
ठीक है, सो दैट इज माय हार्ड स्टॉप लॉस जो मैं सिस्टम में लगा सकता हूँ. ठीक है,
Yes
बट
sir.
अज्यूम इट इज अ पोजिशनल ट्रेड एंड टुमारो दैट पोजीशन गोज अगेंस्ट मी एंड वो 50 रुपए का 25 हो जाता है.
Yes sir.
ठीक है, द डिफॉल्ट साइकोलॉजी इसकी 25 हो गया यार, अब तो क्या ही निकालना, उसको या तो जीरो होगा या तो पूरा मेरे को पैसा देके जाएगा. दैट इज द डिफॉल्ट साइकोलॉजी. सो उसमें क्या होता है, जब आप उसको बार बार करते हो आपका कैपिटल वाइप आउट हो जाता है.
Yes sir.
ठीक है, बट इफ यू हैव लाइक इररिस्पेक्टिव आपका ट्रेड कहाँ जा रहा है, अगर आपको नुकसान 25 रुपए से ज्यादा हो ही नहीं सकता है, इररिस्पेक्टिव कुछ भी हो, कहीं भी मार्केट हो, वही आपका रिस्क मैनेज करके देगा.
Yes sir. Okay. समझ गया.
So that is also the reason I do options trading,
Okay.
because I am able to manage my risk better using options. That's the thing.
Yes sir. मैं ये तो समझ. Okay. हाँ जी. सर, इन शॉर्ट वर्ड्स ट्रेडिंग मतलब एक डिसिप्लिन का गेम है, पेशेंस का गेम है और रिस्क मैनेजमेंट का गेम है.
हाँ, यही है. See, it is not a very tough game.
Yeah.
Okay, the only thing is that it is just, it looks easy in the outset.
Okay.
बाहर से बहुत इजी आपको लगेगा, बट जब आप एक्चुअली उसको प्रैक्टिकली अप्लाई करने जाते हो ना, बहुत चीजें आती हैं.
Yes sir.
ठीक है, देयर आर स्लिपेजेस, देयर आर गैप
गैप अप्स, yes.
देयर आर स्प्रेड्स.
Spreads.
आपका मतलब बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. देयर आर बैंस. आप एक स्टॉक खरीदने गए, फ्यूचर खरीदा, बैन में चला गया.
yes.
ठीक है, अब आपको उसका ये भी हो सकता है कि आपने फ्यूचर खरीदा, उसका डिविडेंड आ गया.
Yes sir.
ठीक है, देयर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स दैट यू हैव टू कंसीडर.
Okay. Yes sir.
ठीक है, so these are the things you will also learn with time.
Okay.
So I have this principle, like, if you have seen the movie Interstellar, right? Have you seen the movie Interstellar?
No.
Okay, so there is a law called as, उसका नाम है Murphy's law.
Okay.
Okay, it says that like if anything can go wrong,
okay,
it will go wrong.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the same thing that applies in exactly markets.
Okay.
तो आप ये सोच के चलो कि जो आप पोजीशन ले रहे हो वो आपको उल्टा ही जाएगा.
Okay.
So if you apply that principle, then that is the first starting point.
Okay sir. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Thank you sir for your valuable answer.
Thank you Lavji.
Thank you. Okay, Durgesh, you want to ask a question?
थैंक यू सर, मौका दिया बोलने का. और मेरे को अभिषेक जी को मैं काफी दिन से फॉलो कर रहा हूँ, और मैं इनकी काफी मार्गदर्शन, यानी मेरा ज्यादा समय नहीं हुआ है इस शेयर मार्केट में आए हुए. मेरे को टोटल 13 to 14 मंथ, लेकिन मैं अभिषेक जी को काफी दिन से फॉलो कर रहा हूँ और इनको सुनते भी रहता हूँ सम सोशल मीडिया में. और थैंक्स सर, आप काफी लोगों को प्रेरित भी कर रहे हैं और भगवान आप सभी को इस तरीके से प्रेरित कर देना, आपको भगवान और ब्लेस करे। मेरी तरफ से भी
थैंक यू
मैं तो
दुर्गेश जी,
कहूँगा कि आपको बढ़ाते रहे। सर मेरा सिर्फ ये कहना है कि मैं ओनली ऑप्शन ट्रेडर हूँ मैं, और मैं बाइंग ही करता हूँ। जैसे इंडेक्स में मैं मंथली में बाय करता हूँ, मोस्ट ऑफ दी मंथली में बाय करता हूँ, वीकली पे ट्रेड ही नहीं करता हूँ एक चीज। और मैं कोशिश करता हूँ रैली लेने की मंथली में। तो क्या ये अभी तक तो मेरे को प्रॉफिट हो रहा है और काफी बड़ा अमाउंट बनाया है। मैं छोटे से अमाउंट से एंटर किया था शेयर मार्केट में, और मेरे लिए जो मैं अमाउंट बनाया मैंने वो काफी बड़ा अमाउंट बनाया हुआ है। और
दुर्गेश जी,
मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि
दुर्गेश जी, can you please ask a question
मैं
specifically?
मैं आ रहा हूँ सर, आ रहा हूँ। तो मेरा ये कहना है कि ये जो मैं सेटअप है, कई लोग मेरे से बोलते हैं कि आपको लॉस हो सकता है, ये हो सकता है। जैसे रिलायंस पे मेरे को लगा छोटे टाइम फ्रेम में, और फिर मैंने 2400 रुपए की पुट, उस समय पे जब 2700 2800 चल रहा था, तो जुलाई का मैंने 2700 रुपए का पुट ले लिया था, 2400 रुपए का पुट लिया था, और उसमें स्विंग में आज मेरे को काफी बड़ा बेनिफिट भी मिल रहा है। तो क्या ये मेरा तरीका गलत है कि सही है? मैं आपसे यही पूछना चाहता हूँ। और मेरे से ना ऑप्शन चेन देखने आती है ना कुछ आती है, सिर्फ मैं कैंडल देखता हूँ, कैंडल पे ट्रेड लेता हूँ। तो मेरे को थोड़ा सा गाइड करें।
देखिए दुर्गेश जी, मैं तो एक ही बात मैं आपको बोलूँगा कि अगर आपका सेटअप आपके लिए चल रहा है, ठीक है, और आपको पता है कि आपका ट्रेड में कितना लॉस मैक्सिमम हो सकता है, या अगर अपना रिस्क मैनेज कर रहे हो, आपको बाकी लोगों की सुनने की जरूरत नहीं है। ठीक है, आपको पता होना चाहिए कि आप कितना खो सकते हो, और आपको पता होना चाहिए कि जो आप खो रहे हो वो कंफर्टेबल हो कि नहीं उसके लिए। ठीक है, दैट इज अ सिंपल जिस्ट। ठीक है, स्ट्रेटेजीज बहुत सारी हैं, सबकी अलग अलग हैं। ऐसा कोई नहीं है कि आपकी गलत है मेरी गलत है। एट द एंड ऑफ द डे, मैंने जो बोला कि आपको पता होना चाहिए कि मैं इतना खोऊंगा तो आई एम कंफर्टेबल, सो दैट इज व्हाट यू शुड बी हैप्पी विद, कि हाँ मैं इतना एक्सेप्ट करने के लिए तैयार हूँ।
जी सर। तो सर मेरा मानना है एक चीज और है, यानी मैं आपसे बोल रहा हूँ कि मान लो ऑप्शन बाय में मेरी सोच है कि 6 टाइम भी अगर आप एसएल खा रहे हैं और 2 टाइम भी आपको अगर पैसा मिल रहा है, तो वो प्रॉफिट में पूरा 6 टाइम का एसएल कवर करके 2 टाइम, यानी आपका रिस्क मैनेजमेंट के साथ आपकी रोजी रोटी कुल मिला के दाल रोटी पक जाती है। तो मैं इस हिसाब से यानी थोड़ा सा सोच के चलता हूँ। तो क्या सही गलत थोड़ा सा मैं
नहीं
आपके जैसा बनना चाहता हूँ।
नहीं, वो ठीक है। देखिए मैं आपको बात सिंपल सिंपल मैं आपको बताऊं, तो अगर आपने अपनी स्ट्रेटेजी को बैक टेस्ट किया हुआ है और जो आप चीज़ बोल रहे हो, अगर आपकी स्ट्रेटेजी अगर उसके हिसाब से चलती है तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। ठीक है, बट अगेन मैं कह रहा हूँ हर एक स्ट्रेटेजी का देयर इज ऑल्सो मैक्स ड्रॉ डाउन। आपको वो भी पता होना चाहिए कि आपको निकलना कब है। ठीक है, कि आपको कब वो स्ट्रेटेजी आपको नहीं चलाना चाहिए या कब आपको चलाना चाहिए। सो दोज थिंग्स आर देयर, यू हैव टू कंसिडर। ठीक है, बाकी सब चीज़ एज आई सेड, सी आप जो चीज़ कर रहे हो, इट इज़ नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट कि बाकी लोग को समझ आए, और आपको उनको समझाने की भी जरूरत नहीं है। बट आपको ये समझ में आना चाहिए कि भाई वट एवर आई एम इन्वेस्टिंग, और लाइक वट एवर आई एम से ट्रेडिंग विथ, मैं कितना खो सकता हूँ, दैट्स द थिंग।
ओके। तो भाई सर क्या है, कभी कभी एक स्वाभिमान पे ठेस लगती है ना, कि कोई बोल देता तुम्हारे जो तुक्के चल रहे हैं, दूर की पुट ले लेते हो, दूर की कॉल ले लेते हो, प्रॉफिट हो जाता है, तुक्के चल रहे हैं। अब ये 12-13 महीने से कंटिन्यू तुक्के नहीं
सर
चलते ना, तो मैं
सर
अपने आप को
सर
इसलिए
आप
आपसे
देखो,
पूछ रहा हूँ।
सर आप देखो, क्या है ना, स्टॉक मार्केट तुक्के का ही गेम है। ठीक है, किसी को कुछ नहीं पता है क्या होने वाला है कल। ठीक है, सो एवरीथिंग इज तुक्का ओनली, सो आप उसको दिल से मत लो।
Right, right. Hey, Manish, you want to ask a question?
Yes. Hi, Abhishek bhai, this is Manish.
हाय मनीष, हाय मनीष।
Okay, so Abhishek bhai, दो क्वेश्चन है। एक तो was there a phase in your life जहाँ पर आपको सेल्फ डाउट हुआ होगा कि नहीं यार ये शायद मुझसे नहीं होगा या ये मेरे लिए नहीं है? अगर हुआ है तो वो उस फेज से आप कैसे बाहर निकले? एंड सेकंड यही है कि मतलब इस तरह के फेज से how do you overcome from that phase?
Yeah, I mean your question about if you have doubt कि in those phases कि जब आपको मतलब लगता होगा कि मतलब मेरे से नहीं होगा, मेरे को जिस दिन लॉस होता है वैसा फीलिंग होता है। ठीक है,
Okay.
so it's not a unusual feeling होता है। I mean see I am a human too। ठीक है, whenever I have a loss, चाहे वो लॉस 1 रुपए का हो, 2 रुपए का हो, 1000 का हो, 1 लाख मतलब लाख का हो, you feel bad about it। ओके, बट मोर और लेस अभी थोड़ा कम बुरा लगता है, बिकॉज अभी एज आई सेड, आई हैव मल्टीपल स्ट्रेटजीज रनिंग. आई डू बिलीव दैट आई हैव अ गेम प्लान. अर्लियर जब था उस टाइम पे आई सीरियसली, एज आई सेड, आई हैड अ फेज वेयर इट वाज नॉट वर्किंग एट ऑल. I thought about quitting trading, or maybe I thought about like asking for an advisory for trade. I did all that, and ultimately my my मतलब बिलीफ इज दैट कि अगर आपका सपोर्ट सिस्टम स्ट्रांग है, ठीक है, इन द सेंस कि जो आप चीज़ कर रहे हो, आप एनालिसिस कर रहे हो, या इवन आपके जो फ्रेंड्स हैं, अगर आप उनसे डिस्कस कर रहे हो, अपने ट्रेडिंग सेटअप को समझा पा रहे हो, ठीक है, एंड इफ यू आर हैविंग अ जर्नल, लाइक अ प्रॉपर जर्नल ऑफ योर ट्रेड्स, ठीक है, और आप उसको देख सकते हो कि जो मैं अभी ट्रेडिंग कर रहा हूँ या जो पास्ट जो मतलब रिजल्ट्स है, क्या उससे कितना डिफरेंट है, कितना सही है, वो चीज़ अगर आप उसको कर सकते हो, देन इट कैन गिव यू सपोर्ट.
Okay.
ठीक है, बट यूजुअली व्हाट हैपेंस इज कि मोर और लेस वी डोंट स्टिक अराउंड.
Correct.
ठीक है, वी डोंट
Yeah.
स्टिक अराउंड दैट लॉन्ग इनफ. दैट इज द ओनली थिंग आई फील. एंड सी, इट्स नॉट दैट कि मैंने बहुत मतलब लंबा स्टिक अराउंड किया स्ट्रेटजी के साथ में. इवन नाउ देयर आर समटाइम्स देयर आर स्ट्रेटजीज आई डोंट स्टिक अराउंड. ठीक है, आई फील आई कैन नॉट हैंडल दैट रिस्क, तो आई वोंट स्टिक अराउंड. एंड इवन इन द पास्ट इट हैज हैपेंड कि मैंने एक दिन एक स्ट्रेटजी करी, एक दिन दूसरी करी, बिकॉज आई डिडंट हैव ट्रस्ट इन माई सेल्फ फॉर द स्ट्रेटजी. बट ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम व्हाट आई वुड से कि आपको ना वो स्ट्रेटजी कर करके देखना पड़ेगा. तभी मैं कहता हूँ कि यू डू मल्टीपल स्ट्रेटजीज, यू विल फिगर इट आउट योर सेल्फ. ठीक है, कि क्या चलता है क्या नहीं चलता है, एंड देर इज नो सेट वे.
Right.
हाँ,
Right.
ऑब्वियसली यू विल फेस सेटबैक्स, एंड इसीलिए मैं कहता हूँ कि अगर आपको सेटबैक्स होते भी है ना, यू शुड हैव सम मेंटर और समबडी यू कैन टॉक टू. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ठीक है, कि आप कोई हो जो आपको समझ सके एंड ऑल्सो डजंट जज यू. ठीक है, वो
Important.
सी द बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम इज दैट वी एज ट्रेडर्स आर वेरी लोनली. ठीक है, आप जब ट्रेड करते हो, ठीक है, या आपको लॉस होता है प्रॉफिट होता है, इट इज ऑन योर अकाउंट, राइट. ठीक है, इफ यू गो एंड समबडी एंड यू टेल दैट मेरे को लॉस हुआ है, they will, I mean, you will feel that you will be judged. You should have somebody in your family, or say maybe a friend who you can talk to about it.
Right. Yeah.
So that
Very
is
well.
important. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, hello. Hi, Gordon. Am I audible?
Hello, everyone. Hello, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you.
हाँ, सर का आ रहा है क्या? वो कनेक्टिंग लिख रहा है.
Yes, hi. Yeah.
हेलो सर. हाँ सर, मैं अभी बस ऑप्शन बाइंग कर रहा हूँ निफ्टी में. सर वो क्या है कि वो जो होता है ना, वो मेरा थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है कि मैं भी बस प्राइस ही देखता हूँ, मैं क्लोजिंग प्राइस देखता हूँ, जैसे कि लाइन चार्ट्स. और सर मेरा ऑप्शन बाइंग अच्छा जा रहा है, पर प्रॉब्लम ये हो रहा है कि वो जो पैटर्न जब तैयार होता है तो मैं एंट्री लेता हूँ, बट वो क्या होता है कि वो फिर से कंसोलिडेट होने लगता है. उसके बाद 2-3 मिनट के बाद उसके बाद वो ब्रेकआउट होता है. तो वो जो होता है, मैंने सही टाइम पे कैसे पकड़े? हेलो सर.
I just missed the entire thing. I think there was some disturbance. Can you please repeat?
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि मैं ऑप्शन बाइंग करता हूँ, और जो पैटर्न होता है जैसे कि 5 मिनट या 15 मिनट पे वो जब वो पैटर्न बनता है तो मैं ऑप्शन बाय कर लेता हूँ जब वो कंफर्म हो जाता है. पर उसके बाद वो फिर से एक पैटर्न बनाता है, ब्रेकआउट नहीं देता, वो फिर से एक पैटर्न बनाता था, उसी के अंदर मेरा स्टॉप लॉस हिट हो जाता है. उसके बाद जाके वो फिर से ब्रेकआउट देता है, तो मैं मतलब वो उसका टाइमिंग कैसे करूं?
आप उसको टाइमिंग नहीं कर सकते, वो आपको वो सेटअप देखना पड़ेगा कि वो सेटअप का बिहेवियर कैसा है। ठीक है, आपको उसको बैक टेस्ट करना पड़ेगा। आपने उसको बैक टेस्ट किया है?
हाँ, बैक टेस्ट तो किया है,
तो
बट क्या होता है कि जी जी बोलिए।
मैं ये बोलूंगा, आप उसके 20-30 ट्रेड लो। अभी तक हमने कितने ट्रेड लिए हैं उसके?
नहीं, ट्रेड तो मैंने बहुत सारे लिए हैं।
तो आप उसको लिखते हो ट्रेड की, आपका एंट्री एग्जिट, कि क्यों एग्जिट हुआ, क्यों एंट्री हुआ, कहाँ पे एग्जिट हुआ, वो सब आप लिखते हो? कमेंट लिखते हो आप?
नहीं, वैसा मैं कुछ नहीं करता, बस मैं एंट्री के ऊपर ध्यान
नहीं नहीं
देता
नहीं
हूँ,
नहीं,
क्योंकि ऑप्शन बाइंग में तो एंट्री ही इम्पोर्टेंट है।
नहीं, मैं वो समझ गया, वो एग्जिट भी उतना ही इंपॉर्टेंट है। क्योंकि देखो, मतलब मेरा पॉइंट ये है कि आप जो भी आप कर रहे हो ना, आप उसको जर्नल करो। ठीक है, आप उसको जर्नल करना शुरू करो, देन ही आपको वो डेटा का एनालिटिक्स मिलेगा। देखो मैं तो आपको, देखो मुझे तो आपका सेटअप नहीं पता है। ठीक है, आपका सेटअप तो आप ही को पता है, राइट? ठीक है, तो वो उसको सबसे अच्छे एनालाइज आप ही कर सकते हो। मैं आपको ये बता सकता हूँ कि आप ये करो कि आप अपने एटलीस्ट 20-25 ट्रेड आप लो और देखो कि उनका बिहेवियर क्या है और आप उसको इम्प्रूव कैसे कर सकते हो बेस्ड ऑन द कमेंट। तो दैट विल बी हेल्पफुल फॉर
हाँ सर, वो जो होता है ना, आपने बोला कि आप कोई भी इंडिकेटर यूज नहीं करते, आप प्योर प्राइस देखते हो।
यू।
सर मैं भी वही करता हूँ, बस ये बात है कि मुझे थोड़ा ये कंफ्यूजन होता है कि मैं कब ट्रेड ना लूँ, क्योंकि ट्रेड तो लेना है कब वो तो पता है, पैटर्न हो गया तो लेना है, बस कब नहीं लेना है वो थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, तो मैं बस वही।
वो आपको तभी पता लगेगा जब आप थोड़े और ज्यादा ट्रेड लोगे उसमें।
Maybe Mr. Sharma, you want to ask a question?
Sir, am I audible?
यस यस
Yes,
यस।
ठीक है, मैं हिंदी में बोलना चाहूंगा सर। तो सर पहला क्वेश्चन ये है सर कि मतलब जितने साल मतलब जितना भी हम लोग मार्केट को अभी तक देख चुके हैं, तो क्या हम ये बोल सकते हैं कि मार्केट अभी जो है वो अपने सबसे लो पे है? पहला क्वेश्चन सर। दूसरा क्वेश्चन ये है, क्या ये प्रॉपर एंट्री होगी जो पोर्टफोलियो इन्वेस्टर्स हैं, जैसे कि हमारे बहुत सारे, मैं एक छोटा मोटा बिजनेस चलाता हूँ, मेरे बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो पोर्टफोलियो इन्वेस्टमेंट करते हैं, जिनका पोर्टफोलियो 10 लाख 20 लाख के आसपास का है। तो वो लोग जैसे कि बहुत सारी नकदी उधार में लेते हैं। 2020 का जब क्रैक डाउन हुआ था, उस टाइम पे वो लोग ने एंट्री ली थी और उन्होंने अच्छा प्रॉफिट बनाया। अब उस प्रॉफिट के बाद वो लोग री एंट्री चाह रहे हैं एक बड़े अमाउंट के साथ में। तो क्या ये कहना सही होगा कि ये बहुत अच्छा लेवल होगा जिसमें आप जुलाई में एंट्री लें और मार्केट जब रिवर्सल देगा यहाँ से 1-2 महीने के बाद, खासकर मैं निफ्टी 50 या ब्लू चिप कंपनीज की बात कर रहा हूँ, तो यहाँ से क्या उनको एक अच्छा मतलब ग्रोथ मिलेगा आगे को चल के, आगे साल 6 महीने या उसके 1.5 साल के आसपास? तो ये 2 क्वेश्चन है मेरे कि पहला कि क्या मार्केट अपने अपने जो लो है वो बना चुका है, या इससे भी हम आगे जो फर्दर ये बात हो रही है ना कि डिफ्लेशन आ रहा है, अमेरिका में रेपो रेट काफी ज्यादा बेसिस पॉइंट से हाई कर दिए गए हैं, और सम जो इंटरनेशनल इश्यूज हमारे सामने है, क्योंकि बैड न्यूज हमेशा अपने सामने रहती है। उसके बाद दूसरी की क्या री एंट्री लेने के लिए अच्छा रहेगा सर? ओवर टू यू।
Okay, I see about the market making lows. It is very subjective, you know. Like I can say कि ठीक है वो तब बन चुका है, somebody will say कि नहीं बना है। तो मैं see if you think about that, you know कि आपका मार्केट कितना लो बना चुका है, I don't think that would be the right way to say it also, because you know I mean see you never know। ठीक है, आप लोग क्या मतलब किसी को नहीं पता है कि ये जो लो है कि यही बॉटम है। ठीक है, सो दैट थिंग इवन आई कांट प्रेडिक्ट, सो इवन इफ आई से सो इट वोंट बी राइट। ओके, द सेकंड थिंग मतलब द सेकंड थिंग अबाउट इट इज कि आप पूछ रहे हो कि क्या ये राइट टाइम है इन्वेस्ट करने का। सी व्हाट आई अंडरस्टैंड इज लाइक इन्वेस्ट करने का इज ऑलवेज द राइट टाइम। ओके, सो इफ यू कीप ऑन इन्वेस्टिंग, अगर आप रोज रोज या अगर हर महीने जो आप इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो, अगर अच्छी कंपनीज में कर रहे हो, ठीक है, सो दैट इज ऑलवेज द राइट टाइम। ओके, बिकॉज सी आई मीन एज सी आई डू बिलीव इन द मार्केट्स कि हाँ ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम वी विल डू वेल, बट इट्स नॉट अ डेफिनेटिव ऑल्सो ना कि हम हमेशा ही ऊपर जाएंगे और हमेशा ही नीचे जो जाएंगे। वो आपको सी दैट इज वाई यू नो यू हैव टू कीप इन्वेस्टिंग थ्रू आउट। ठीक है, अगर आपको मतलब अगर आपको लगता है कोई कंपनी में आपको फेथ है, टेक्निकल्स में फेथ है, तो आप उस पर करो। ठीक है, पर आप उतना ही करो कि जितना आप उसको मैनेज कर सकते हो।
Yeah. There
I
is a
think,
question.
yeah.
Yeah, there is a question from Sanjay. Sanjay.
हाँ जी संजय जी.
Sanjay, you want to ask a question?
Hello.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
morning,
please.
sir.
Yeah, good.
Uh,
Good evening. Yeah.
गुड इवनिंग. सॉरी सर. गुड इवनिंग
Yeah.
सर. ऐसा है कि मैं अभी तो नया ही काम कर रहा हूँ इसमें, और मैंने 2-3 महीना पहले ही चालू किया हूँ. थोड़ा सा अभी तो कुछ समझ में भी नहीं आ रहा है. मैंने हाँ 1-2 कोर्स किया है प्राइजेक्शन का. तो मैंने कुछ सीखा, कुछ ट्रेड भी लिया है, कुछ कुछ ठीक भी रहा, कुछ गलत भी रहा. तो कभी मैंने फील भी किया कि कहाँ गलती हो गया, क्या नहीं. वो अभी तो मैं कर रहा हूँ. मुझे एक सवाल है पूछना था. कल रिलायंस जो ब्रेक हुआ था, तो हम लोग को सिखाया गया कि जब ब्रेकेज होने के बाद, जब बेस बिल्ट हो या फिर एक साइड बेस में जाने के बाद जब ब्रेक हो, जब पीडीएल के नीचे ब्रेक हो या पीडीएल के ऊपर हो, तो ही आपको ट्रेड लेना है. जिससे कि मतलब तो उसमें क्या हुआ कि वो तो कल ब्रेक किया पीडीएल, लेकिन उसके बाद रिटर्न हो गया वो. तो उसमें तो घाटा हो गया. तो कहना था कि इस संबंधित कुछ जानकारी दे सकते हैं क्या, कि ट्रेड अगर जैसे वो ब्रेक कर रहा है, वो लगातार जैसे 15-20 मिनट में, आधा 1 घंटा में वो 100 नीचे चला गया.
देखिए मैं समझ गया, बट मैं आपका जो सेटअप है मैं फॉलो नहीं करता.
अच्छा.
ठीक है, तो मैं उस पे आपको कुछ इन्फॉर्मेशन दूं वो मैं दे भी नहीं सकता. मैं आपको इतना ही मैं आपको मतलब बोल सकता हूँ कि देखिए, एक ट्रेड से फर्क नहीं पड़ना चाहिए. ठीक है, अगर आप शुरुआत कर रहे हो, मैं आपको एक चीज मैं आपको इतना मैं आपको बोल सकता हूँ कि आप एक ट्रेड पे फोकस मत करो. ठीक है, आप ये चीज देखो कि आपका एक ट्रेड का आउटकम इतना इंपॉर्टेंट होना ही नहीं चाहिए. ठीक है, इररेस्पेक्टिव ऑफ जो भी आप कर रहे हो, आपका सेटअप, आप एटलीस्ट उस सेटअप पे आप एटलीस्ट 20 ट्रेड्स, मतलब 20 से 25 ट्रेड लो, और फिर आप एनालाइज करो कि आपका सेटअप सही है कि नहीं है. ठीक है, तो अगर आप स्टॉक स्पेसिफिक पूछोगे तो मैं आंसर नहीं दे पाऊंगा, क्योंकि अभी मैं तो सिस्टम पे भी नहीं हूँ. मैं कुछ आपको बता नहीं पाऊंगा, बट मैं आपको ये कह सकता हूँ कि जो भी आप फॉलो कर रहे हो, ठीक है, उसको आप थोड़े टाइम तक के लिए फॉलो करो, एंड देन आप उस पर आप देखो कि उसका क्या एक्शन है, कि उसका क्या रिएक्शन आ रहा है. बिकॉज देखो, जो आप कर रहे हो ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि हमेशा सक्सेसफुल होगा ही. देयर विल बी टाइम्स वो नहीं चलेगा.
Yeah, right. Abhishek, we'll take the last question for the day from Ignoring You. Yeah, go ahead.
हेलो सर. नमस्ते सर, मैं मानसू बात कर रहा हूँ सर. नाम लिखा नहीं हुआ है मैंने.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
सर मैं एक्चुअली मुझे ये पूछना था, ये जो मैं एक्चुअली ऑप्शन बाइंग करता हूँ, तो मुझे स्टॉप लॉस कितना होना चाहिए, मतलब कितने परसेंट एक्चुअल में स्टॉप लॉस होना चाहिए कि अगर हिट हो जाए तो मुझे दुख ना हो कि हाँ चल हो गया तो हो गया. तो कभी क्या होता है, मैंने 10% मतलब 10% का लगाया तो हिट हो गया, कभी कभी 5% का भी हिट नहीं होता. तो स्टॉप लॉस समझ में नहीं आता मुझे कितना एक्चुअली में लगाना चाहिए.
ठीक है, आपको पूरा वो बैक टेस्ट आप चलाओ, आप देखो कि आपका मतलब पर डे या एवरेज या कुछ तो आपका स्टॉप लॉस होगा ना, आपका ड्रॉ डाउन होगा. उसके हिसाब से आपको डिसाइड करना पड़ेगा, और उसके हिसाब से आपको पोजीशन साइजिंग करनी पड़ेगी. जब आप एक ट्रेड लेते हो, तो आपके उस ट्रेड का कि आपका कितना आपका रिस्क है, उसके हिसाब से आप उसको अपना पोजीशन आपको साइज करना पड़ेगा. ऐसा कोई फिक्स नहीं है. देखो, मेरा भी कोई फिक्स नहीं है. ठीक है, बट ऑब्वियसली मेरे को ये पता है कि अगर मेरा कोई सिस्टम है, ठीक है, वो सिस्टम मैक्सिमम मेरा जो ड्रॉ डाउन है आज तक, मान लो इंट्राडे पे मानो मेरा तो 4% ही हुआ है, सो दैट इज द मैक्सिमम दैट आई विल रिस्क ऑन अ डे. ऑब्वियसली सी देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ स्टॉप लॉस आल्सो. एक होता है कि आपका पूरा स्ट्रेटजी का स्टॉप लॉस है. ठीक है, एक एक मतलब होता है कि आप जो मतलब ट्रेड ले रहे हो उसका मतलब स्टॉप लॉस है. अब ऐसा भी हो सकता है ना कि आप एक दिन में मतलब एक दिन में यू आर टेकिंग 2 ट्रेड्स, राइट, बट स्टॉप लॉस पर डे शुड नॉट मीन अल्टीमेटली तो आपके अकाउंट से पैसा जा रहा है. ठीक है, सो यू शुड ऑल्सो नो कि आपका पूरे दिन का या कितना आपका स्टॉप लॉस आपको रखना चाहिए, कि मेरे को इतने दिन में 2 ट्रेड के अंदर इतने स्टॉप लॉस का आई कैन मैनेज. सो मतलब दैट इज वन थिंग यू कैन डू जस्ट टू मैनेज योर रिस्क.
ओके सर, ओके, थैंक यू सर.
Okay, cool. I think we are we have come to the end of today's space, Abhishek. So thanks a lot for
Thank you, Gordon.
answering the questions so enthusiastically, and really loved interacting with you. So great, and thank you everyone who joined in, and sorry for the disconnection in between. Thank you everyone. Have a good Sunday and a good trading week ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Gordon, and thank you everybody for participating and for asking questions. It was really enjoyable to answer them, and thank you again.
Thank you, Abhishek.